What's up YouTube? This is D Maulinator of Team Metaphorical Jew coming at you with another deck profile. This is my Gravekeeper deck that you've seen in a few of our videos. It actually works pretty good. I've teched in a couple of different things since the last time it was actually used. I really don't know how to use the deck. It was just kind of a cheap thing that I threw together one day. So if you've got any recommendations, please throw them my way. Alright, let's get started. Triple Spy. Big Searcher, really annoying. When you got Necro Valley out, 2500 defense. It's one of the two main searchers, and this guy's the other one. Whoops. That'd be Gravekeeper's Recruiter. He does the same general thing that Spy does, only his effect targets defense instead of offense, and it goes to your hand instead of the grave. But he has a mandatory effect whenever it's sent to the graveyard, so if you're sinking with him, you get the effect. If he's killed by Dark Hole or Tributed or any of that silliness, you get his effect. It's really useful. I mean, you can cycle Commandant into your hand and instant Necro Valley. Okay. Your main weapon in the deck is Gravekeeper's Descendant. Tribute a Gravekeeper to destroy a card on the field. He's like the Worm King of this archetype. Not a lot to say about it. I actually thought it was more like Dark Armed when I first read the effect, but all around a very good card, and you can make some big plays with him and Recruiter. And you got a personal favorite of mine, Gravekeeper's Commandant. He's a favorite because I actually pulled all of the rares that you see there. You can discard him to get a Necro Valley out of your deck. So like I said earlier, search with Recruiter and then go straight into Necro Valley. And then your opponent starts crying. Alright, after that I've got 2 copies of Gravekeeper's Assailant. While Necro Valley's on the field and he attacks, you can change the battle position of one of your opponent's face-up monsters. Great for getting rid of Spirit Reaper or Marshmallow, just dealing some damage that way. Tokens cower in fear in this guy's wake. Yeah, the Dandy Plant decks who try to block with that card, they don't really like him. And a personal choice of mine, I have 3 Gravekeeper's Chief. Basically because if you have Recruiter on the field, which is really easy to do, you can just tribute it to summon Chief here. You'll get the search effect and you'll get his effect. And then you'll either have Recruiter or you can get back a Descendant if you need to kill something. And you'll push for hand advantage. So all around it's a great card. It's not dead very often, I've found, at least for me. I like it, and it gives you that 2400 if you're really running into stuff like Monarchs. Here you got 3 Necro Valley, staple for any Gravekeeper deck. If you're watching the video, you probably know what this does. It's your big anti-meta card. It's really good. This one I'm questioning. I only have 1 Gravekeeper Stell in here right now. I do have another, and I'm not sure I want to put it in or not. I figure I do, but I just don't really know what I want to take out for it. I haven't used it much, and the few times I have, it hasn't made much of a difference. So, it's kind of a horse apiece, but it's the Dark Factory or Recurring Nightmare of the deck. 2 Royal Tribute, the card that makes people cry. I cannot tell you how many times I've tested this deck against my Lightsworns, and then I just drop Royal Tribute and I'm like, oh shit, there goes all of my Judgment Dragons. Yep, that card wins games, because you can just dump your opponent's entire hand in the grave. Alright, now for a couple of staples. Triple Space. I actually don't run Heavy Storm in here just because I have Necro Valley, and you really don't want to be getting rid of that. And so I like Space better anyway, because you can use it on your opponent's turn. Avoid any mean trap cards they have, like Trap Dust Shoot or Torrential. Dark Hole, staple. Mounts Reb, staple. Book of Moon, basically a staple. If you don't run one, that's okay, but if you don't, well, you really should. And Allure of Darkness. You can get rid of a Chief that's actually not doing anything in your hand. Just a little drop power for the deck. Okay, this is a personal choice. I don't see a lot of other decks run it this way, but 3 Rite of Spirit. Like I said, this isn't one of my top decks, and so it's kind of budget. So I don't have any fancy warnings or any silliness in here. Rite of Spirit, I really like it. You can get back Recruiter, Tribute for Chief, like I said. You can bring back a Descendant. It's like a better version of Call of the Haunted for the deck. You get back any of those guys whose effects you need to reuse. All around a great card. Do Bottomless, just to annoy people. Most of my team who has a bunch of big monsters that they spam at me, and Bottomless gets rid of them. Torrential, staple card. Great for comebacks after your opponent's cleared your field. Mirror Force, staple. You really should just run that. There's no excuse not to. It's that good. And this I just threw in recently. Triple Compulse. I've heard that this card isn't going to be nearly as good as it was in the last format. This format, I honestly don't see why it wouldn't be as good. Maybe it's because some of those cards that you just spam out of your hand, and you can just summon them right back to the field, but it'll at least get rid of a troublemaker in the battle phase, if nothing else. Or you can force your opponent to waste their normal summon. Yeah, it's great against Exceeds and Synchros, because neither of those are going to go away any too fast. They're still the big heavy hitters. Okay, and that's my deck. Like I said, let me know if you've got any rates, fixes, all that good stuff. I'll try and get more budget decks out to you. Until then, see ya.